And I want to talk about your business, but before we go there, I want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about this need to rebrand the word microaggression.
hmm
And just before that, I also want to understand the why. What is your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you here?
Why am I rebranding, or why am I here? Period.
I like the we here period and then the
Yeah.
rebranding. It must be aligned in some way, but I want to give
Yeah.
people a context of what's motivating you, what's getting you out there, so that
Yeah.
they can also find that it resonates with them and be
Yeah.
able to support you.
So it's a few things, but they're all there's like a Venn diagram of overlapping
Okay.
things. The short of it is love and freedom. I have always felt like I'm made out of love. And that my gender identity and sexual orientation have been super complicated all up in there as well, because I'm not worried about your skin sack and your jiggly bits. I'm worried about your soul. What kind of spirit you got? I can work with all them jiggly bits, right? So grateful for the universe in which pansexual was an identified thing. I'm like, oh, this makes more sense, because gender identity has never really factored in for me. It's just a people thing, so that's been helpful. But as far as motivating me to do the work, love and freedom, I've had an incredibly inordinate amount of freedom to exist in this world, and it comes on the heels of all kinds of privilege that one would not expect from one that embodies this many marginalized identities. But as of late, I've been really inspired by Adrienne Marie Brown and her pleasure activism and emergent strategy. And pleasure activism is about liberation through joy, right? So I'm not only full of love, but I am a happy person. I don't care what happens. My joy is not dictated. My inner joy is not dictated by external circumstances. So the world is in a crazy shambles right now, and I am still full of love and joy, and that powers this work that I do for the sake of liberation. So pleasure activism is liberation through joy, and that is from the microcosm is, as a Black, queer, invisibly disabled person of color, right, and gender minority, right, non-binary person, just existing and being happy is a radical act of defiance, of revolution. Just being happy, me walking around these streets with my blue hair and a smile on my face, is just crazy time, right? So that is my own liberation through joy. And the world is not oriented towards the happiness and joy and elation of a brown person in a XX chromosome, gender non-binary, identified, disabled. It's not oriented towards my happiness. So the
Mm-hmm.
fact that I am happy is its own revolution. And then in its, if you scale that out to the nth degree, liberating people's hearts and minds through joy, helping them find their joy, tap into their joy, so that they can enjoy the freedom of being beautifully human as they were meant to be, all the way to liberating incarcerated bodies from physical prisons through joy, right? So prison abolition, like giving us free for real. So that really motivates me, because when I look around, I see my brothers, my sisters, my siblings, and I will start at the epicenter of my own identities, because I'm definitely a warrior for my people, but I don't stop there, because I do
Right.
believe that we are one human family. So if I'm able to liberate some white folks along the way who were also trapped, great. So I'm here to send that message of love and self-acceptance and acceptance of each other, to everyone, because I've lived an extraordinary life. If it all ended for me tomorrow, I would have done a lot, and I will have left behind 3 loving, beautiful children that know that they matter, who know that that they are loved, and that they are expected to go forth in love. So I will dedicate the rest of my days to being increasingly, I would say, increasingly radical, increasingly revolutionary, increasingly vocal. Because once upon a time, I mean, if you told me even 3-4 years ago that I would be talking about the delusion of white supremacy out loud, I'd have told you, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
You crazy. I ain't saying that mess out loud, because these white people have treated me real good. I'm a light-skinned sister with symmetry. You know what? They treat me real nice. I ain't rocking that boat trying to get no KKK up in my.
That might
I
hurt.
will. Right? I'm like, no, I will not shut my brown face. I will absolutely confront that thing head on, because my brothers and sisters and siblings are suffering. It is a pile of garbage, and it is being allowed to persist, and we all know better. So I have a voice and I will use it.